Thanks for joining me on this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also be sure to follow me on these other social media platforms. Links are in the description below. All right, have and have not fans, we're back with another video. I think this goes without saying, but I thought that this was something that I should definitely do a video on. It probably won't be too long, but I think that it is pretty obvious at this point that even though it was most likely done off screen, the money that RK found in Malik's pockets was the money that Benny borrowed from the Malones. So it appears that the $45,000 in cash, when Benny got arrested, the cops took it, but then when he got released, I guess they did give it back, which begs the question. Back when Warlock got arrested by, you remember when Mitch set it up that, he got some of his connections within the police department to arrest Warlock because Mitch put like a spare tire in his trunk that had drugs under the hubcap. So Warlock would get arrested. I'm sorry about this, but this was like a couple years ago, guys. Warlock got arrested, and he had $2 million in cash because Candace went to the bank to get the money in order to pay off Warlock, so the two of them were cool. So then, Warlock gets arrested, and then the question was never answered. Did Warlock get the $2 million back when he got released thanks to Jim and his people? Very interesting because, obviously, I'm guessing he did not put that in a bank. So in Warlock's territory, is the $2 million still there? Dun, dun, dun. But going back to Benny, so basically he gets released from jail, gets the $45,000. And what it doesn't irk me or anything like that, but I was quite puzzled because if you remember in some of my videos from maybe over the past couple of months, I always said, what is this fool doing with $45,000 in his pocket? Like the morning he got arrested, why do you have the $45,000 in your damn pocket? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So he gets arrested because remember, he, this was the morning after the whole thing where he's at the bar trying to get the money back. Vinny's on the ground. He has the gun pointed at him by Vic Malone. Then he fights him off to escape. Okay, so why are you walking around with $45,000 in your pocket? So now he gets some sense and decides not to walk around with the money. And this is when he goes to the hotel to meet with Candace to talk about everything that's been going down. He gets distracted by Gia. And then he, oh, wow. This is great. I'm actually getting comments on one of my videos, so thank you all. But anyway, yeah, so he leaves the money and goes there. So when Malik shows up, and this is off screen, I'm guessing like, maybe him and Hannah go through all the house and whatnot looking for money. They find $45,000. Well, yeah, and puts it in his pocket. Then he leaves with the knife in his back, shoulder, or whatever. Then the money's in there. Now we get to another scene, which I'm guessing occurred off screen. When Mitch got pissed off at Don Malone and he's like, I'm going to talk to grandma. She'll shut your ass down. I laughed at that scene because I do love Mitch in that moment. And also when Don's like, you keep talking, watch who you're talking to, keep going on like that, and you'll be in the same situation as him. It was like, fine, he gives the $45,000 with interest. He's free to go. But if he doesn't have the interest, we'll break his legs. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. But I was disappointed in the damn defibrillator because I really wanted to get at least that one scene with Mama Rose and Mitch. Like I could definitely see Mama Rose being like a rabid pit bull, but I feel like Mitch is able to get on her soft side. That would have been pretty damn cool to see because if anything, the Mama Rose now, we haven't seen her be kind to anyone outside of her own family. So to actually have her have a nice scene where she's showing a softer side, especially for her grandson, who doesn't really get involved with the family, I think that would have been a great character scene for Mama Rose. Just my opinion. I really wish we would have gotten at least a 5-minute scene with those two, because I'm pretty sure that Mitch actually went to see Mama Rose, came back to the bar, hence why he's, sitting on a stool in the corner, and he's like, hey, Benny, I'm going to come pick you up. Okay. All right. We're all good. Now, I imagine that and again, this goes back to how I felt. The damn defibrillator was a good episode, but it just felt a bit off to me. Not in a bad way, but it just felt like the scenes were kind of out of order, so to speak. Like, I did feels surprised, like one moment before commercial, Veronica gets shocked. Then the next scene, oh my gosh, she's already in a hospital bed. And it just felt a bit off to me in terms of, it feels like the puzzle pieces of the episode weren't put together correctly. Again, not saying the episode was bad. It just felt a bit strange to see how it was threaded together. Just my opinion. But I really do wish we have gotten a scene where Mitch was with Mama Rose, or he comes back to the bar and then says, yeah, grandma says he just pays back the $45,000 and we're good. Okay, fine, whatever, kid. Trust your blackies, or whatever he would say. So I'm guessing, based off the episode trailer for next week, when Mitch is like, hang on, I actually got it. This is bad. What are you going to do? Because we see Mitch, and I'm assuming him and Benny make it back from the Artesian Hotel parking lot. Benny's okay. They go back to the house to check on Hannah. And Mitch tells them the news, is like, hey, I talked with my grandma. She's like, if you pay back the $45,000 now, you'll be good to go. Don't have to worry about the interest. So now you will listen to me when I say don't mess with my family. I imagine that things would go around like that. Like Mitch really put his neck out there for Benny. Hey, give us the $45,000 and you're good. You don't have to worry about interest. You don't have to worry about it anymore. But then, again, another message. But then another monkey. Wait, hang on. Why was I thinking about a monkey wrench? Anyway, and then another chink. Actually, what's the saying? There's always a hitch when it comes to a plan. I'm pretty sure that this season has been about the downfall of Benny, about him going from one bad situation to the next. I imagine that the way it was written, oh snap, Mama Rose decided if you pay back the $45,000, you're golden. You don't have to worry about it anymore. No interest. Benny feels like, oh my, this is good. I had two guys had to fight off. I almost got my ass shot. Let me get this money back to your family, and I'm done dealing with these people. Right when things are looking up, that's when he discovers, oh my God, that dude stole the money. And then Benny's in trouble, because I imagine that Mitch is like, hey, if you pay the money back in like 24 hours or whatever, you're good. Okay, because I'm pretty sure there's a time limit, which really confused me, because Don Malone was like, Vinny says he has a payment coming up, right? And I'm just like, well, that was for every 6 months. And I was like, what? If I'm not mistaken, it was $18,000 every 6 months. And it hasn't even been 6 days. Hell, I don't even think it's been 3 days since Benny physically got the money from Vinny Malone. So I don't know, what does he mean by there's a payment coming up? Don't try to make it like a lot of time has passed on the show when it's only been a couple of days. So yeah, I don't know what he was talking about when he's like, you got a payment coming up. He got a payment coming up. So I imagine that Malik took the money. Benny is now officially screwed, which again makes no sense, because he almost has $9 million in a joint bank account. How hard would it be to withdraw $45,000 and pay it back to the Malones, explain the situation, and then that's it? I mean, I understand that Hannah says she'd give all the money back, but given the situation, I'm pretty sure Catherine would not mind if not even $50,000 was quote unquote taken away to pay off his debt. So, I mean, again, I don't really see that. But then again, that's the simple route, and the haves and the have-nots rarely takes that, because if they did, there wouldn't be a story. So with that being said, just a video kind of explaining the fact that, oh yeah, Malik did take Benny's money. But on top of that, now Candace has the money and says she may give RK part of it, which is a bitch move, because, well, RK was the one that hired Malik because you wanted him to. Malik was the one that went there and stole the money, and now he's dead. So you are now deciding whether or not you would share some of the money. And RK was the one that looked on his dead bodies in order to get it. Wow, Candace. Wow. But one last thing before we wrap up the video here. A lot of people have been telling me, Jeremy, I bet Candace is going to save the day because she has a favor with the Malones. In terms of the continuity, I don't think that favor is still allowed. Here's what I mean. If you go back to the episode, which I don't know off the top of my head, when Benny and Mitch went down to the bar, and Vinny didn't want to give him the money because of the whole, oh, it's because he's black, huh? It's like, what? He doesn't have the money. He looks like a, just like a kid who can't afford it. And it wasn't until Mitch brought up the fact that this is Candace Young's brother, the same one that brought Warlock down there for grandma. And it's like, oh yeah, we owe her a favor. And it's like, okay, well, we owe her a favor, consider it done. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was implied. And this conversation went over Benny's head. He's like, whoa, what do you mean Warlock? And what about my sister? This conversation literally happened above his head. Like, he was getting bits and pieces, but he didn't know the entire story as to why the Malones owed Candace a favor and what that had to do with Warlock. So, and if you ask me, I'm pretty sure that Benny unintentionally used up Candace's favor with the Malones to get the money in the first place, meaning that Candace no longer has the Malones owe her nothing. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Go back to the episode, rewatch that scene. From the dialogue, that's what I got from it. And I even did a couple of videos on that, like, yep, Candace is going to get into some shit, and then when she needs the Malones, oh no, we let your brother have money. It's like, wait, what? So I really do feel like the favor is used up. But in retrospect, number one, if I were Benny, I would have said, nope, my sister has something to do with this. No, I'm good with the money. Or I would have said, well, since you owe my sister a favor, can I just have the money without paying it back? I mean, that would have made things easier. A yes or no question is better than both your legs broken or you're dead. So with that being said, I feel like Malik did take the money. Mama Rose and Mitch were able to come to an agreement that if Benny pays back the $45,000, he will be free to go without interest needed. On top of that, Benny discovers the money is gone, so he's officially screwed, but that problem could be easily rectified if he simply took that $45,000 from the almost $9 million in the bank account, and that would squash the entire situation. And on top of that, I do not think that the favor that Candace was given by the Malones is still valid. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you all soon.